Alright people, I think it's time that we talk a little bit about cooling and problems with cooling on your Mustang. Mine, as you can see, has a nice aluminum radiator. I've got an Edelbrock high flow water pump. I've got a new thermostat. It's, I think, 10 degrees cooler than the factory one. Serpentine belt is good, no slipping there. Full of coolant. I even drained the coolant and I looked at the fins on my radiator and everything was clear, so I don't have any problems there. But for some reason, this car gets hot at idle. I mean, when there's no air flowing through the radiator, it's warming up. And I'm just kind of curious what that could be. So my only other thought would be the clutch on my fan there. And I know a lot of people run electric fans. I quite honestly would rather have one of those, but for the quick fix this summer, I'm going to stick with the mechanical and just replace the clutch on there. So that's what this video is going to detail on, is how to replace the clutch on your mechanically driven fan. I'm hoping this is going to solve my problem. We'll check it out once it's all completed. The only other thing, mods wise on this car, it has a decent cam, it has your typical bolt-ons, full exhaust, just the typical things guys put on. I do have a custom tune on this, so I was thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a time too high or something like that, but it actually ran hot prior to me getting the tune done on the computer. So I'm thinking the culprit lies right there. And I've tested the fan. It does still spin, but I don't think it's drawing enough air through the radiator as it normally would. So what I'm going to do is I ordered a piece from latemodelrestoration.com. I think it was about $39.99. O'Reilly Auto Parts priced it, I think, at $65. So I was happy to wait a couple days shipping to get a much more inexpensive part, but still really good quality. And I'm just going to take you through how to change the clutch on your fan and show you how easy this is, and hopefully this can solve some of your heating problems like I've been having. So stay tuned. Alright, first order of business is to remove the serpentine belt, or serpentine belt if you prefer. Actually, I don't need to do that. No, I don't. Well, maybe I do. I'm not really sure. The water pump pulley should stay. It might not stay aligned is the only thing. So I'm just going to loosen it anyway. You may be able to skip that. I don't know. I'm just going to do it anyway since I have all the tools. 18 millimeter wrench here. Put it over the tensioner. And all you're going to do, this is just a way to get more leverage, is take a larger wrench and you're going to stick it this side of the wrench, hook it in kind of the circle side and pull up. So it's just an easy little trick you can do. There, you can get it real easily this way. Let it down gently. Good to go. The other wrench required is going to be 7/16, and that's for these bolts down here on the connecting the fan to the water pump. So you're just going to remove, there's 4 here, so just remove these 4. And you're going to need to take your fan shroud off. I have different bolts than from the factory because I think I lost them a while ago. So you might have different size bolts, but I have 7/16 on here. But you're going to have to take the shroud and the fan out at the same time. The fan won't come out without the shroud coming out. So just make sure you're disconnecting your shroud completely. That being said, there is an electrical connection right here to your coolant levels, for your coolant levels. Also, the overflow tank right here has a hose going to the radiator. So make sure you're disconnecting that right here. I'll just go ahead and do that so I don't forget. Take this guy out. And then you should be able to lift your shroud and fan out together as a single unit. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I've got all the bolts out, so all I really need to do is lift the fan and the shroud out, and I will be good to go. Actually, that's a lie. I forgot to take off these bolts. There's two. Okay, now when you pull your fan off, it might be stuck on the shaft a little bit, so you might have to wiggle it, but it will come out. There we go. Why I was saying maybe not need to take the Serpentine belt off. But this pulley might move if you do because of the tension on it, so you know, you cheap insurance to keep the holes lined up. So here we have our assembly. It's going to be these 4 bolts going to come out. I'm going to retain the original fan here. I could have replaced it. As you can see, it's got cracks all over it, but it's okay. I mean, I'm kind of doing this fix on the cheap and going to try to reuse as many old parts as I can. And this is the new part right here. What's cool about this is instead of having to line up bolt holes, it has these slots, so everything will fit really nice. Let me just bolt that sucker in there. It's really pretty, all sealed up. So I'll show you what that looks like once it's on. Alright, to get these bolts loose, they're not, you know, on super tight, so all you really need to do is plant your foot on there and give it a good whack like that and get them all loosened up. Kind of like an impact, but with human power. If you have an impact, certainly use that, but it's kind of overkill. This is the old one. See, it's pretty nasty. It's not only dirt, there's grease on there, which is a telltale sign of these going out. I hope this fixes my problem because otherwise I'm stumped. But this wasn't really a bad repair to do. Anyway, just because of the age of the fan itself. Some thread locker. I think that is going to do it. I'm not too worried about it. See how clean? That's so much better. Now for the reinstall. Alright, the install is complete. I got everything buttoned up, bolted up, all good to go here. One thing you're going to want to make sure of before you start your car is your fan blade clearance to your shroud. Make sure your fan spins freely in here and doesn't connect with the shroud at all. And I can already tell that this is so much different than my other fan just by moving it like this. The other fan would spin pretty loosely, like it was real easy. But this one is giving me a decent amount of resistance. So I'm pretty confident that was my problem. I really couldn't imagine it was anything other than that, being as how every aspect of the cooling system on this car is over and above. So I just think that was the weak link and causing my issue. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to be good to go at this point. You can do this fix in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe even faster if you're not dicking around with the video. But if you're having cooling problems with your Mustang, give this fix a try. It's a pretty cheap and easy thing to do. And good luck moving forward, everybody.